Okay then, this week in Overwatch, it's been, quiet. It's Overwatch. I mean, what would we expect? Although there has been one big thing that everyone has managed to start talking about because, everyone is copium and hopium on Overwatch 2 right now. I mean, I suppose we have been for years, right? Anyway, we're not going to start off with that. We're going to start off with the transfers, I suppose, in the esports scene. There's not many of them. Yeah, again, not much going on. Fixer moved from the Uprising Academy to the Philadelphia Fusion. So he's going to be the Korean support player for them. I guess that's good. Unfortunate circumstances that they needed a new support, obviously. We don't want to ever see that again, hopefully, but, that's out of our control. But there's not too much going on. That's literally the only Overwatch League transfer. That's literally the only one. It's really boring. There has been a lot of moves. The NA team, I suppose, the NA team Solaris. They've managed to get hold of Dove, King, Reno, Icy, and Rakatak. So that's cool. Also, we see 3 of them from Solaris, or the Solaris two-ways, going back to Northwood University, NOS, SZNS, and Cowman 711. They do well. Paintbrush becoming unassigned again. You should know Paintbrush if you've been around the league for a while. Jangu, that's another story, who was actually straight up retired. Again, not too much of a surprise. There's been plenty of people retiring from Overwatch, and I wonder why. Anyway, moving on. Sticking in the esports scene, actually, though. Been a lot of controversy around a certain esports team, not just in Overwatch, but in general. That team is Noble. I don't suppose you've heard, but Noble haven't been playing their staff. And that tends to not go down very well, especially with the staff that are not getting paid. Noble came out with a statement, or their owner did anyway, saying that, it was transactional issues. They used to use PayPal and now they were using a bank account and things weren't getting through. We would send our Apex team payments and all at the same time, and only one player would get his and the other 2 would not go through. It caused delays and frustrations. But it's all very well, and then they go on to talk about cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Talking like the account was locked and closed because we were also using the account for cryptocurrency and the bank told us we weren't allowed to continue doing business with them. Ay. It's fair to say that this has not got a lot of sympathy from a lot of the community, not just in Overwatch but in esports in general, with most of Noble's streamers, content creators, social media managers, and etc. leaving them. And it's going to be pretty fair to say, Noble are going to take a long time if they ever do recover from this. It's not very good. Whenever we hear of an esports organization not paying their staff, it never, ever is a good thing. And unfortunately, in esports it tends to go on all too often, where staff are not treated with perhaps the same courtesy and value that normal businesses would. And it's something that a lot of esports organizations need to improve on. It seems to happen every now and then where something like this crops up and it's really, really not good. And it seems this has been going on for a while. But I hope this offers some sort of solitude to the people involved who have not yet been paid. I hope they get all of their money that they deserve, because if you do a job and you are promised payment, you should always receive that payment as a priority. And things like cryptocurrency should not come in the way of that. Your priority as an org owner, as a business, should always be the well-being and payment of your employees, because your employees rely on you for their livelihoods, and that is a massive responsibility for org owners and orgs themselves. So, Noble, get your act together, because this is unacceptable. Moving on. We come away from the Overwatch esports scene now, because now we're going to talk about Overwatch 2. Yes, every time I make a news video on Overwatch, it tends to be about Overwatch 2, because that's all that's in the news at the moment. Because people are really, really hopium on Overwatch 2. Because, let's be honest, we've been starved of content for a couple of years now. Actually, more than a couple of years. Yeah, about 4 years now, actually. Oh boy. Anyway, there is a little bit of news that kind of slipped under the radar. The Overwatch devs didn't say anything about it, but people keep a hawk eye on Overwatch because, well, people are desperate to see anything that happens, right? You've got all of the people on Twitter that are giving out fake information. Be careful of the fake news of people saying, oh my god, I can download an Overwatch beta, and then you realise the screenshot is from 2015. 16. Oh dear. Yes, there is no pre-download for Overwatch beta right now. There's no pre-download for Overwatch 2 beta right now. Do not get baited by Twitter or anywhere else. Right now, there is no Overwatch 2 you can get access to, no matter whether you're a person who is working in a game store, if you're at your PC at home, if you're on your Switch, or whether you're literally just about to start working for Blizzard. You can't get hold of it. So, stop. Don't think and don't get debated. However, that is not the news. The news is that sneaky Overwatch devs. Right. Current Overwatch patch is somewhere in the region of 1.68. Now, that's fine. Most versions are working on that, including, well, approximately that. Some versions on 1.63 because some haven't gone through. For example, there's an Overwatch version, there's obviously the PTR, there's tournament versions of Overwatch, there's obviously the OWL version of Overwatch, and they all have different names. So the normal Overwatch is called Pro because the Pro is not professional, before anyone gets debated. It is the in-development name of Overwatch, which was Prometheus, I believe. So that's why you get Pro. But you got Pro C, which is Pro C is the tournament. Probably stands for Prometheus Competitive, something like that. Pro C China, that's tournament for China. Pro C EU, which is tournament for EU. Pro C KR for Korea. Pro C2, which is the second version of the Overwatch tournament client. Then you got all of the regions again. Tournament 3. Then you got the tournament viewers, which are called Pro CR and Pro CR2. Then you get Pro Demo and Pro Demo 2. Again, not too sure what those versions are. They are possibly like from the original Overwatch demo. They're all the way back on patch 1.50, so they're not really kept updated. You have Overwatch Esports, which is called Pro EV. But this is the one we're interested in, and this is Pro Dev. This is Overwatch Dev. This is the version that the developers use in testing in-house, which is something no one else has access to apart from the developers of Overwatch and people in Blizzard. It is top secret, and no one is basically allowed to use it apart from the Blizzard employees that are relevant to the project. Now, Pro Dev will always normally be on the most recent patch, because obviously, normally, that is the one that is being tested in-house pre-release. This so happens to now be working on version 2.00.7.0.93195. Yes, they are working. That one is working on patch 2.0. Now, of course, because people have seen this, the hype has accelerated and the copium is being fueled. Because, obviously, this would suggest that in-house Blizzard are now testing Overwatch 2 to an extent that is now very substantial. And the entire dev base of Overwatch is now testing the Overwatch 2 pre-release, I would suppose, version. Now, this adds to the rumors that we could suspect that a beta will be coming not too far down the line. Again, this is pure speculation, but the next step for that version would be to go to some sort of either closed public release or open public beta, something like that. Much like this step, normally in a normal version of Overwatch, this next step would be either to go to the PTR or to go to the experimental card. Now, the PTR is not really used these days too much, but I expect the PTR to come in use. I wouldn't be surprised if the PTR comes in use for Overwatch 2, because I expect that's probably where an Overwatch 2 beta would go. I think they would just scrap the PTR because they don't use it. But this is incredibly interesting news, and it is promising. Again, you don't want to take too much from it. This could still be a long, long way from release. So, again, it's okay to have hopium and copiums, but do take it with a pinch of salt. Take it easy. There has been so much speculation recently regarding an Overwatch beta coming very, very soon, possibly even announced before the end of the month. Again, we have to wait and see. There is nothing we can do until Overwatch and Blizzard, Activision, or Microsoft, whatever you want to call them now, whatever you want to call them, there's nothing we can do until they give us some information. And right now we haven't got any information. We're only getting stuff that is kind of being dribbled out into places or getting leaked or being talked about as rumors or sources from different news agencies, or this, which has been the most tangible thing so far, this update of the developer version of Overwatch. This could stay in testing for a very long time for the developers, so again, they're going to hopefully want to make Overwatch 2 as polished as possible before its release. I would at least hope so, you know. Wouldn't want a broken game being released. Be kind of iffy. But this is a lot of good indications. Again, this could also be a release that is only given to Overwatch League in the very short term, because they are just testing it so the league can start. The league starts in April. So again, there's something else on the devs' mind as well. So there's a lot of different factors that could be coming into play here, but it is good news, it is progress, and hopefully very soon, because we were being teased that we were going to get a lot more information coming up quite soon at the start of the year, we're going to get some more information about Overwatch 2, and we're going to get some more information about what's going on. And when we do, expect the hype to go insane around the Overwatch community. Because, believe me, they are thirsty. They are very, very thirsty for information. And it should be really, really interesting. But that is it for this week in Overwatch. Hopefully next week there'll be even more news, because I've had to string out the Overwatch 2 section a bit too long. Anyway, Noble, get your act together. Cool transfers, and Overwatch 2 Hopium and Copium is still here. Keep an eye out for more videos coming up soon. Subscribe if you liked the video. Give it a like if you liked the video as well. It helps the channel out. Also share it as well. Helps the video get seen by more people. Give it a like. I did already say that. Comment if you have anything to say about the topics we covered in this video. And obviously, all of your support is appreciated as per usual. And thank you very much for all your support as always. I'm going to leave it here. See you next week in this week's Overwatch. There'll be more videos coming up in the coming days for both Overwatch and Genshin probably. Bye for now. Bye bye.